channel. Today's episode, I am doing a roll narration. The roll has already started. I have an underhook on my left side, and I'm going to be looking here to snap my partner down or shoot the legs, probably knee tap or shuck. Here it is. There's the knee tap, and my partner was able to counter me. I'm going to switch side and go to the other side of the underhook. Okay, so let me make that clear here exactly what happens. Whenever you have an underhook and you're attacking your partner, okay, so you see I have a left-handed underhook. Okay, now you're going to see me. I'm going to go for a knee tap here. Let's play this in fast, slow motion here. There it is. There's the knee tap. This is one of my favorite maneuvers. I'm trying to shuck my arm up like this. My left arm is going up. I'm trying to grab his knee here and pull it in the opposite direction. That's what we call a knee tap. And look what my partner's doing here. He's getting an underhook. He's defending himself by putting in his own underhook. Whenever you see your partner do that, he defends with an underhook. What you need to do is switch side. So you could see I have my left underhook. I'm shooting into his legs. He's countering me with an underhook. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to a left side underhook. Okay, so we said I have a left side underhook. I'm going to go to a right side underhook. Okay, so let's see that here. I shoot, look, I pummel my arm in and I go underhook to the other side. From there, I snap him down, etc. Okay, but you do see for a brief moment, I'm in a right-sided underhook. Okay, let me rewind right here. You have a left-sided underhook. You shoot the legs. When you shoot the legs, they underhook you. Switch side. Go from a left-sided underhook to a right-sided underhook. Watch this. I pummel my arm in, and now I'm shooting a knee tap on the other side, or because his head is down, I'm going to snap him down. Okay, if his head came up, you'd see me shoot a knee tap on the other side, but instead I went for a snap down because he left his head hanging down. Okay, so watch here. I'm going to go into a whip over. From here, I love to do side control guillotine. This is one of my favorite submissions. I get the submission all the time. I think there's no escape to this submission. I find I don't know any escape to this maneuver here. Okay, so basically, let me just rewind that back here. I have a guillotine. I'm trying to force his chin down to his chest. You could see my legs are scissored, and my whole goal here is not to let him sit up. Okay, I don't want to let him sit up. So I'm putting some pressure forward, but I don't want his back touching the floor. Okay, his back has to stay off the floor. Okay, so I need three things. One, I need his chin touching his chest. Two, I need to put some pressure forward without letting his back touch the floor. Okay, so his shoulders are off the floor. That's a lot of pressure on his neck. Because his shoulders, you could see they're off the floor here. If I put his shoulders on the floor, I'm relieving the pressure of the choke. If I lift his shoulders too high, he might get up and get on top of me. He might roll me over. Okay, so there's a balance here. I'm pushing forward. Believe me, I'm pushing forward. And I'm lifting him up. Okay, where does the power come from lifting him up? If I'm choking with my left hand, I need my left leg, my left knee off the ground. I want to base with my left leg. Okay, so this gives me a lot of power to apply a choke. Okay, it's that left leg that's picking up his shoulders off the mat. This is a beautiful choke, guys. Try it out in practice. I promise you, you will get the tap very often here. Okay, we're back up to our feet. My partner here is doing a good job of keeping my hands off his head here. There's that underhook again. I love the underhook. I don't like to shoot in the legs and possibly get my neck trapped in a guillotine or anaconda choke or dar. So I usually will shoot from an underhook. There's another knee tap attempt. There's a miss, a single leg miss. And you see that when you miss from underhook, it's not that bad. Whereas when you shoot the legs, if you miss, the guy's on your neck, or he's on your back. So this is why I really like underhook control. There's another snap down. I see my partner shoots. He shot to his knees. Not that it's wrong, but look, you can end up in one of these situations where the person defending is now on your neck. Okay, so here I have another attempt at his neck. Here's a power guillotine. Really hard for me to show it here because the angle. But I have my hands in sometimes people call it a Mackenzie-tine. But I have what we call it, John calls it a power guillotine. John Denhauer calls this the power guillotine. I really like this choke, especially from front headlock, just like we were right now. All right, let's see what else we got here. My partner's again shooting on his knees. Again, risky, not wrong. I mean, we all do it, right? Sometimes you got to go for it. There's me in an underhook, body lock. My partner here, I'm trying to grab his hips, pull them in. My partner's doing a good job of keeping that space. There's a baseball slide takedown. Okay, a lot of times we call that a scissor slide. That's not a Kani Basami. It's definitely not a Kani Basami. I'm not jumping on the knee. Let me rewind that right here. I have the body lock. My partner's trying to pull his hips away. You could see that I have my left hand around his waist here. This is a great grip. We call that a seat belt or a tight waist. Okay, in wrestling they call it a seat belt. And now look, as my partner's sprawling his legs, I kind of shoot almost like you're doing a deep half guard. I'm below the knee. Okay, this is a safe maneuver. It's not to be confused with a flying scissor. Flying scissors forbidden in a practice room. You can break your partner's knee. This is me dropping and tying my legs up around his ankle. Okay, now I'm on top. I'm pressure passing. Let's see what happens here. My partner's trying to re-guard, get his knees back between me and him. This is what we call a one-on-one. You guys can see I'm chasing the wrist here. If I get one hand on this wrist, we call it a one-on-one. If I'm able to get both my hands on this wrist, it will be called a two-on-one, two hands on one hand. I just call it Khabib time now because Khabib's like cemented this maneuver as I didn't even get to it. But if I were to catch that, I call that maneuver now Khabib time. Like when I teach my students, I'm like, okay, guys, now you're here. The guy's posted on his elbow. It's Khabib time. Grab that wrist, put it behind his back. But my partner did a good job keeping that wrist away. Here I have a triangle around his waist. He's posted on his arm. Usually here, I'm going to put a triangle around his neck or armbar him. If he's posting on his elbow like that. There it is. Here comes the armbar. It's just very difficult for them to stop because their arm is so immobilized. And here's a triangle. If he survives the armbar, he's putting himself in a triangle. This will be in my Control Freak back volume, Freak Volume 2 for back control. You guys will, if you guys pick it up, I'm going to go over triangle and armbar from the back. Okay, so here we go. We're back to our feet. Volume 2 is not out, guys, so just letting you know, don't go looking for it just yet. It'll be out soon in a couple of months. Okay, here we go. We're pummeling. Let's see what happens next. Some more underhook action. Things are sweaty now. Not easy to grab onto your opponents here. Let's see what I'm going to do. There's an Ashy Slide. And this is one of my absolute favorite maneuvers. Okay, let me rewind that right back. I just noticed also there was a very interesting glitch in the Matrix. I don't know if you guys noticed it. Watch this. There is a glitch in the Matrix. Watch it again. Let's see if you guys pick it up. There it is. I don't know if you guys saw it. To me, it was clear as day. Check this out. Let's rewind. Watch this here, okay? Let me rewind here. Keep an eye on my son over here. This is my son here, this man here in the gray shirt, this young man. Watch here carefully. Okay, I'm going to play this in slow motion here. Let's see if you guys pick up the glitch in the Matrix. Here's me doing an Ashy Slide. There it is. This is going to be in volume 2 of Ashi Infinity. Okay, I have Ashi Infinity coming out very, very shortly. I snap down the back of the neck. I reach for the leg. I did teach an Ashy Slide in volume 1, but not this particular Ashy Slide. I will teach this exact Ashy Slide in volume 2. Here's me snapping him down, shooting into the legs. What's Junior doing back here? Let's see what Junior is doing back here. Let's see here. Oops. Okay. My son is also doing an Ashy Slide. And there it is. Look, he's got the collar tie. He's snapping his brother down. He's reaching for the leg. He didn't slide as well. He sat back a little bit more, but he just needs to practice it a little bit. Here's both of us doing an Ashy Slide at the same time. Me ending up in a heel hook, him in a sumigeshi. Both of us hitting an Ashy Slide at the same time. That's pretty strange, actually, which indicates to me that we might be living in a Matrix, and this was just a glitch in the Matrix. Watch this here. Both of us on the same mat at the same time and place, shooting an Ashy Slide. Very strange. Wouldn't think that's possible, but hey, there it is. Okay, we're back up. One of my favorite maneuvers, Ashy Slide, especially when things are starting to get sweaty. I like to slide on the mat. It makes it very easy. Here's me in turtle position. This position I love. You'll notice a lot of people when they do turtle, they put their elbows on the mat. Okay, you'll notice I don't put my elbows on the mat. I always put my elbows as deep into my hips as possible, and I base on my head. Everybody wants to put their hands on the mat to support the weight of their partner on top. This is a very big mistake. In my opinion, you should support your partner's weight with your head, knees, and shin bones. Okay, so I like to flatten out like this. I like to flatten my legs here, real straight, but all the weight's being carried here. Here, this is more about me balancing myself. I balance myself with my head. What I don't do is I don't put any elbows on the mat, okay, ever. Okay, so here we go. We're wrestling. Now he's trying to tie his hands together. I don't want him to lock his hands together. There's me in a roll, knee bar. Whenever we do knee bar in practice, guys, we never crank it. Leg locks, heel hooks, knee bars, especially. Knee bars are very dangerous for the knee. So you could see that as soon as I locked it, like as soon as I got in position, we stopped. That's how we train leg locks at the gym. Okay, we don't crank on knee bars. So many broken ACLs, PCLs. injured knees. We don't do that anymore. Okay, so it's all about control. When we go into the leg locks, I got you. Our leg is straight. We just stop. It's done. We've seen a lot of broken legs in tournaments. We don't need to be convinced that the leg will break. Okay, we believe that the leg will break if you crank on it. So this is how we train. We train very safely when it comes to leg locks. Okay, so here we are. Look, this is one of my favorite combos. This is an Ashi Infinity 1. If you guys want to check it out on jujiclub.com, I shoot up a triangle. My partner postures. That's all. That's the number one escape, is posture out of a triangle. What am I going to do? I'm going to go into my K-guard. Here it is. I cover this exact combination in Ashi Infinity Volume 1. I push him away with my legs. Now, he's in a lot of trouble here. Okay, his legs extended. I'm on the heel. Usually, you're going to turn this into a leg lock or a sweep. Okay, now things are very sweaty. It's probably going to turn into a sweep here. I'm pushing him away. This is a very good position for me, a very bad position for him. Look how I'm really tight on that ankle with my neck, okay, because things are slippery. There, I fished for an ankle lock. My partner rolled out to safety, and now I'm on top. Turns into a sweep for me. There's a nice little guillotine pass. I'm back to that side control guillotine I had earlier. This time I'm not posting on my left leg, so I probably won't be getting it. Here I'm pushing on his head from side control. This is something else I like to do whenever you're side control or half guard on top. I sometimes like to bend the neck by pushing down on the head like this. My partner powers through. He does a nice job to getting to dogfight from there. Here I'm going to a crab ride. In wrestling, we call this a crab position. I'm trying not to let him lock his hands together. Trying to keep my elbows off the mat here. My partner jumps for a kimura. And you see here, he's on a kimura here. But watch here. This is interesting because when you could see that his hands are not locked in a kimura, because I grabbed his wrist here. A little bit hard to see, but I grabbed his wrist. I'm not allowing him to grab his own wrist. Let me rewind that back here just a little bit. You see my partner's. Okay, that's a better picture. You see here, my partner wanted to grab a kimura. Actually, let me just go a little bit further back here. Okay, here we are. He's reaching for that kimura. Look at his hands. Okay, there it is. He wants to grab his hands together in the kimura. Instead of allowing him to grab his own hands, I grabbed his hand first. You see, I grabbed his own wrist. He wants this hand to grab onto this hand. But I'm not letting him do that because I intercepted the wrist first. Okay, so this is just one way you can kind of mess up somebody's kimura. You kind of grab their wrist. So now when they try to turn to kimura, it's just not there. They can't lock their hands together. Here I'm on the neck, stuffing the head. There's a teleport maneuver. I've done a video on that maneuver many years ago. Type in TriStar Gym channel, teleport, back take, and you'll find that exact maneuver. Here's my partner scrambling from back control. Now I'm playing guard. Here I'm turtling up, trying to see if my partner can take my back. I like to do this from time to time. Turtle up when somebody's trying to pass you. See if they can take your back. Tuck those elbows in, guys, when you're in turtle. Don't put your elbows on the ground. That's another video, guys. I hope you like, share, and enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you.